Everyone, so today we're at a Peugeot 3008 SW. So this is a 1.6 diesel engine from 2008. See, it says DV6. So the customer's complaint is car keeps going into default mode, limp home mode, and it's fairly flat. Now Roddy drove it back down the road and he says it's got a lack of sparkle. So we pull codes. We have a P2033 particle emissions filter upstream temperature signal temperature too low, a P0299 turbo pressure regulation turbo pressure measure too low, and a P1462 EGR valve learning. So we had this car in a few times and this code keeps appearing, and this was there sometimes, but we've never seen this before. So the question is, what one is sending it into default mode, into limp home mode? So I'm not actually sure if this one would do it or not, but that one certainly would do it, and I'm not too sure about that one. But anyway, let's start with this particle filter emission system. The temperature sensor, it resides just right down where my finger is, right there. So that measures the temperature after, what is it, Roddy? After the cart. After the cart, before the DPF, if indeed it's got one. So I think these things start measuring at 100 degrees and cut off at 1250 degrees. So it's underneath the turbo there. So let's go into the data stream. So read data stream. So we're going to, this will be, well, it'll be in here. So, you see anything, Roddy? No, there's nothing about car light. Well, it'll be that. Right. So, because it's under 100 degrees, it's no measuring yet, so we'll go and heat it up. This thing did work, but it seemed to be very intermittent. And this car only has one temperature sensor on it. So we'll get it to temperature and I'll let you see it. With the car idling, we just take a temperature reading up here. Actually underneath was about 50, no less it's cool. You want to rev it, Roddy, see? So you can see that's, there we go. Graph it. It's a bit erratic. I think the temperature sensor, look, it shoots away up to 120 degrees and then it goes away back down again. There's nothing up there. So that sensor's too erratic. Well, you'd imagine it went 100, 101, 102, it's not doing that. He's got to disconnect this temperature sensor. And we're going to find out how this works. It's either a PTC, positive temperature coefficient, or an NTC, negative temperature coefficient. But let's see what it does to the scan tool. So I've done anything yet. So we went to. So it still just shows it as 100 degrees. Still just shows it as intermittent. Was it not disconnected yet? No, sensor disconnected and the pins look pretty clean. So let's see if the code's changed. So read fault code. It still shows intermittent. Read data stream. Okay with that one. So that still shows 0 as well. So let's try and clear the codes with that disconnected. Clear fault memory. Oh, this is the one you've got to put the key off. What's the mileage, Roddy?
Mileage 145,760.
14576. Oh. No trouble codes. Now we'll start it up with that disconnected, lad. So we've been running it for 5 minutes, still no fault codes. What we've done, we went into the sensor side to see if there's any, what the resistance readings are like. So we've pinned into that, see it's a brown connector. So we've just simply put it on 20 mega ohms. You want to try and heat it, get a bit of rev, Roddy. I think it'll be very intermittent. That'll do it. So you've seen that there now, very intermittent, so it is the sensor, so we need a sensor. Getting up to, what was that? 20 mega, started about life about 17 or 18 mega ohms. So I don't think a little box is going to do much good, but we could still try the bypass test. So that's just pinned into the harness side, the multi-plug there. So you can see this, we've got 5 volts. So we'll try and put it through this and watch the scan tool to see if it brings the voltage. A reading of 628 degrees centigrade, and we've just simply put that 234 ohms gives you 600 odd degrees. So that's roughly the temperature a regen, I would say. You want to turn that, Roddy, see?
Yeah.
Just go up the thousands.
Right, we'll do that.
So 3000 drops us to 400. A bit sporadic, eh? Or that's hundreds we're going up. Maybe try the thousands. 1000, oh here we go. 2000. Not very linear, is it?
No, it's not
3000. Unless we're finding the computer.
It's not like they need to.
Let's burl it all the way to 9000. That's it. Right, so 9,900 and this is the highest that we can get to. 9,999 gives us 215 degrees centigrade. So indeed, this one starts high resistance when cold and comes down, so this must be a negative temperature coefficient. Is that right? I think so. Anyway, we need a sensor. So we'll short it out and see what it goes to. There we go, that's it shorted out, so we're all at zeros. 700. See if there's any fault codes came back. Read fault code. Too high. So that's one we need. So what I was thinking for the customer here, maybe better to run with it disconnected. Maybe no going to limp home mode then, or at least leave it flat. Don't know. So the other code was complaining about, we think this is maybe the turbo pressure sensor, so let's see what code comes up with that. Turbo pressure sensor signal high, raw signal, so that's the right sensor, but and then the EGR was the other one. It was low, it was a P299. So we definitely need a sensor. But where do we go for there? That's the thing. So other fault code related to the EGR valve. So what we've done was, there's two bits. There's an electric EGR valve. So we've had problems with them, so let's just listen if we can hear it. It seems to be out the back here. Now we've had problems with these EGR valves before, but they're a bit involved to get to. So could be that up there, or here's the other part, EGR butterfly solenoid. Oh, that's in there. It only gives you one click, innit?
Yeah.
Maybe maybe they got it mixed up. That's maybe the throttle solenoid. Try it again, ready? So that's the throttle, isn't it? So that's not the EGR, so it's got mixed up. Right, so what else? Bypass butterfly solenoid valve. Turbo pressure control solenoid. Let's try this. There, it's moving up and down.
Moving the right eye.
Ah, it's moving. So to round this video off, this is a bit of a nightmare situation because you've got three things wrong. Let me see, I'll talk you through it. And we've had to order this part, and it's not going to be in until a few days time. So let's go back and see the original codes. So Peugeot. So here we go. So it complained about the particle emission filter upstream temperature signal. So we agree with that, we're going to replace that. The turbo pressure regulation, turbo pressure measure too low. Well, don't know. And EGR valve learning, don't know. So the one you've got to ask yourself, what one is putting it into default mode? And it could be any of these first three. So this is the situation where you have to do a bit and keep your finger crossed, but keep the customer informed. It's turbo. Seriously. Seems to be responding. How's it going?
Good time.
Good at the moment. I'll graph these two pins, turbo pressure measures and reference. There's the temperature sensor just arrived for the Peugeot. Ain't cheap. And there's a number there, and it's a intermotor part. We've managed to remove the old probe, so we cut the wire and put a 14 deep socket on it, on this tool here, and we just put it on setting 1 actually to start with, and then we ended up at 2 and it took it right out. Quite amazed actually. There's a new one, and that'll do the job. So we'll just screw it in, take it for there. Quite clean, eh?
Aye.
We thought we were going to
No problems, yeah.
have problems, but no, the threads were fine.
See the rust in the
I know. But maybe that shocking, that thing.
Shocking, doesn't it?
We'll pop it in.
It's shocking.
Oh, that's right. That's a 14. Oops. 14 socket down there.
Get it.
So give it a little test drive. And you can see our probe's more stable now. We're reading 360 degrees. So the things are fluctuating up and down. So that one at least seems to be working. Cheers.